Morena tātou katoa, Tamatea kai araki is our marama. And thinking about the queens today, all the queens, our bib, gay, rainbow queens, and also thinking about the colonial queens. So it's Queen Elizabeth's birthday, and Māori, we always have this bit of a thing about the monarchy, and it's because Queen Elizabeth's tupuna, Victoria, Wikitoria, she had a relationship with our rangatira and endorsed the signing of Te Tiriti o Waitangi. And from our point of view, we are able to live as rangatira, as our own chiefs, our own kings and queens here in our own land of Aotearoa. And Elizabeth Tupuna, Victoria endorsed this. Now, when Victoria sent out Hopihana, Hobson, out here to Aotearoa to get us to sign Te Tiriti o Waitangi, the British Empire, I think their intent was for us to give sovereignty to them. But however, the way Te Tiriti o Waitangi was written in Te Reo Māori, and the way Henry Williams, the missionary, translated and explained things to us, to my ancestors, was that Victoria loves us and she wants us to have a good life, and she's just concerned about her own subjects, her own people not being unruly here in our country. And so she wants to make sure they're behaved and they're okay and not playing up and being drunken sailors all over the place. And the Te Tiriti o Waitangi was written to outline these terms of the relationship. And so some people say, well, the Pākehā version doesn't say that. It says we give sovereignty. Well, we didn't sign the Pākehā version. We signed the Māori version. And the Māori version says we maintain our tino rangatiratanga. And so that's it. And in international rule, we have something called a contra preferendum, which means anything written in Indigenous language is above something that's not. You know, if the people sign their own language, well, that's kua tatu, that's what's real, that's what's legit, not the translation of it into another language. So you see where I'm going on our marama. We're all a bit flat. Yeah, Tamatea kai araki. Where I'm going on this, talking about Queen Elizabeth and her birthday. Well, hari huri tau ki aia. She's had a great life. She's, tino kuia ia. But in the whakapapa sense from Māori and our relationships and our whangaungatanga, we have Queen Victoria. She is the tupuna of Elizabeth. Now, Te Tiriti o Waitangi was signed by her representatives with my tupuna, Kawati. So there's Victoria, Wikitoria, and Kawati. And then Wikitoria had Edward, Eruera the 7th, and then Kawati had Tuwahine. And then Edward had George or Huri, and then Tuwahine had Hoterene, my tupuna. And then George had Huri again, that's Queen Elizabeth's father. And then Hoterene had my great-grandfather, Takiwa. And then George had Elizabeth, so there's two Georges. And then Elizabeth, the next George, there's two Georges, this is when I get confused. The second one, George, Takiwa, Elizabeth, Araki Taki, my grandfather, Charles, my dad, William, me. What I'm trying to explain is the Taki whakapapa, and that when Elizabeth's tupuna signs endorses Te Tiriti o Waitangi Victoria, and my tupuna signed it, well, there's an agreement as it goes through the generations, and there's a commitment, and we've never forgotten that commitment. So I'm on the same level, whakapapa-wise, as Prince William, my dad as Prince Charles, my grandfather Ariki Taki as Elizabeth, my great-grandfather as her father George, then Hoterene, my tupuna, as her tupuna George, and it goes up, and then Edward, and then it just keeps going. And this is why whakapapa is so important, because it keeps the relationship there, keeps the relationship. And this is why us as Māori will never forget that agreement of Te Tiriti o Waitangi, and hold the monarchy accountable to it, and the British government and Aotearoa government. So there you go. There you go. Bit of a serious one, but I had to get it out because it's been on my mind, like why the monarchy's important and why it's so present in this country. Well, if we're going to acknowledge the role of the monarchy and the Queen's birthday, well, that's their role as our partners in allowing us to have independence and tino rangatiratanga and sovereignty on our own lands in Aotearoa. There you go. I was getting, it's so early, but much for me this morning to be doing taki whakapapa and remembering who's where, who's that. Especially I know my own whakapapa, but I don't know other people's very well. But today I looked at the Queen's, and I always knew that that's why a lot of our ancestors are named Wikitoria, and through the generations today, Wikitoria, after the Queen Victoria, and it keeps going on. So let us never forget that. Aku mahi kia koutou. Get your maramataka. I don't want to be explaining this every day. I want to see you planning. Look at this. I've got all my things I'm starting to put in. Tino busy in the ho. Tamatea. Sorry, we're not even yeah, we are sorry, we're Tamatea Isle. Tamatea Isle. Tamatea kai araki tomorrow, everyone. Tamatea kai araki tomorrow. Tamatea Isle, I'm so confused. It's the Queen. She did it to me. It is Monday. Tamatea Isle, because yesterday was Tamatea Angana. Tomorrow's Tamatea kai araki, and then it's Huna. It's this holiday, the day off, apparently, the Queen, te rā o te Queenie. So ngā mihi, we got it right, Tamatea Isle. So a little bit of the quiet again. We're still quiet. Nothing's happening till Thursday. Huna hideaway. Tamatea Isle, tomorrow Tamatea kai araki, then Huna. Ngā mihi kia tātou katoa. Kia ora. Gonna rest.